e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, d4, e takes d4, e5, knight e4, queen e2, bishop e4 check, king d1, d5, e takes d6 en passant f5, knight g5, castle kingside, queen c4 check, king h8, queen takes b4, knight c6, queen a3, knight takes f2 check, king e1, knight takes h1, d takes c7, queen e8 check, bishop e2, f4, king f1, bishop d7, knight d2, knight e5, knight d f3, knight g4, bishop d3, knight h f2, bishop takes h7, bishop e5 check, king g1, queen e2, bishop d2, knight d1, bishop d3, bishop takes d3, queen takes d3, queen takes d3, c takes d3, knight takes b2, rook b1, knight takes d3, rook takes b7, knight c5, rook b5, knight a6, knight e6, rook f6, knight f takes d4, rook e8, rook h5 check, king g8, rook g5, knight e3, knight takes g7, rook c8, knight g e6 check, king h8, bishop a5, rook f7, knight e2, rook f5, bishop c3 check, king h7, rook g7 check, king h6, knight 2 takes f4, knight takes c7, rook g6 check, king h7, knight g5 check, rook takes g5, rook takes g5, knight e8, bishop d4, knight d1, rook h5 check, king g8, rook h8 check, king f7, rook h7 check, king g8, rook e7, rook d8, knight e6, rook c8, h4, knight c3, bishop takes c3, rook takes c3, rook takes e8 check, king f7, rook a8, king takes e6, rook takes a7, king f5, rook a4, rook c2, king h2, rook d2, king h3, rook d3 check, g3, rook c3, rook a5 check, king g6, a4, rook c4, rook a6 check, king h5, g4 check,